What's going on, y'all? It's The Flash, Season 5, Episode 10. The boy's about to break down a recap for you. So we start off in 2049. Nora, she's talking to Eobor Thawne, and it's like she's asking him why she killed her grandmother in front of her dad because she didn't know that, so that was all new information to her. So he goes and tells her this little sob story, and then she leaves and she comes back into the present day. And then we have Cisco and Caitlin. Uh, Caitlin's helping Cisco take those dark shards out of his hand that was messing with his powers. Then after doing some tests, Cisco found out that those shards was permanently taking his powers away. So he wanted to think of a cure so he can get rid of the meta gene permanently. You know what I'm saying? So people can live normal lives and stuff like that. And Killer Frost came out and she wasn't with it, destroyed his research. So that was the end of that for a minute. Now I mean they had their words back and forth. They was beefing, talking about their reasons for doing it. And then we go into the courtroom. Cecile, she's back, her first day back, and she's prosecuting the Weather Witch for her crimes and previous episodes and things like that. And she can still got her little psychic powers, so she can hear her thoughts. And she feels that like the girl was so sorry and so much remorse, and that she didn't want to be like her father, and she just was the girl with Weather Witch. She was just so remorseful that Cecile took it easy on her. But when Nora got on the stand, Nora was already feeling a certain type of way after talking to Earborn, so she pretty much ruined any way that she can get off. You know what I mean? Like, yo, she's a criminal, always going to be a criminal, and they wind up locking her up. So then we get introduced to this new meta villain. Her name was the Silver Ghost, and she had pretty much this car alarm. And with this car alarm, like she can control cars and anything with engines. So she stole this Lambo, and she's out, she's bouncing, and Flash is running up on her. Then when he go to touch the car, like to try to vibrate through it to grab it, the car lets off some energy. Now he can't stop vibrating. They don't know how to stop it, so they throw him in a prison, in his little meta prison in Star Labs. He's in there cooling down, so he's not vibrating. And the team is trying to get together and trying to figure it out. And then we get into what happened after that. We get into the Weather Witch. She's locked up in prison. Well, not prison, but county jail, the police station, whatever. Yeah, pretty much the police station. And the Silver Ghost, she goes there and she breaks her out. She got this plan and she need her lightning power. She needs some help. So she take her to the headquarters, and she's not really feeling it because she don't want to be like her dad. So she calls Nora, tell Nora like, yo, look, I'm trying to turn a new leaf. Can you help me out with your word? You know what I mean? Take me back to the police station. I want to turn myself in. And Nora's agreeing with her like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? But Nora took it back and like, yeah, I found this metahuman that broke out. You know what I mean? She escaped. She pretty much flipped on her. You know what I mean? So the police locked her back up, and Nora disappears. And Nora's talking to her mom about career criminals and stuff like that. And her mom was like, yo, everybody ain't as always bad as it seems. You know what I'm saying? Things ain't always black and white. So then she goes and talks to her dad. And her dad is pretty much telling her the same thing. But this time, the Silver Ghost, she goes back and she breaks her out again. And this time she got her staff. And she's like, yo, you need to come and help me, you know what I mean? But this time she's willing to go help her because she tried to be right. She tried to do the right thing. Nobody believed in her. So she's like, oh, what the hell? So her and the Silver Ghost, they go break into Argus. And they find this car that was built with this alien technology or some meta technology or something. Like this car was real special, had all type of crazy gadgets. And that, now that she can control this car, she can pretty much do anything she wants, be undetectable. And her and the Weather Witch, they going down the street, and Nora's trying to talk to him, but they can't figure it out. So Cisco figured out a way to rig it through the communication so she can hear her in the car. And like Nora's talking to her like, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't believe in you, blah, blah, blah. give me a second chance and we can make it right. So the Weather Witch indirectly kind of helps them, stops their plans, but at the same time, her and the Silver Ghost escape. You know what I mean? And she thought that she put some ice on the ground. Killer Frost did it, but Killer Frost was like, I didn't do it. So she knew it was the Weather Witch because the Weather Witch can do stuff like that. You know what I mean? So she was like, okay, so maybe it's right. Maybe, you know what I mean, people can change. So now she goes back into the future. You know what I'm saying? And she's talking to Eobard again. And she's pretty much like, okay, my dad and my mom said people can change. They're not always bad. So she really didn't want to trust them. But she felt like she got to for whatever reason that's going on. They're not really telling us yet. You know what I mean? So she's going to wind up, she's back in 2049 for a second. And she's going to help Eobard Thawne with whatever plan that he got. Because the last thing she said to him was, what next? And then we go back to Cisco and Caitlin, and they pretty much talking about the little metagene research that he was doing, and Caitlin felt bad, but then she was like, yo, I understand how you said you want a normal life like that. So they kind of boom tube to her dad's research center in the Antarctic, and they going to do their research right there, and they're going to come up with some type of cure just for metagenes. But then, like they said, they was going to work together, and they both came up with an agreement that if we do this, you know what I'm saying, we make this cure, we're not going to force it with nobody. We're going to give people options. We're going to give people choices if they want this cure or not. So that they pretty much was like, okay, cool, and they shook hands on it. And then pretty much the end of the episode, we go back to the Wells, and he's talking. He finds out about where Gideon was and how to activate it. And he's talking to her, and she calls him Wells, even though he's the Wells from a different Earth. I guess the computer can't tell. Then he was asking her about the Gideon about some files, all the files that he have on Nora West. And then Gideon comes back and tells him that there is no files, that he erased them, that she erased them all. You know what I mean? And he's up to something too, because early in the episode I forgot to mention, he was trying to decrypt that language that Flash was writing when he came out to Speed Force. But he ain't really talking everything he know, you know what I'm saying? He's doing some little shady stuff, but we don't really know what he's getting into, you know what I mean? We don't know if he's evil or not, but he just looking real suspect right now, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much the recap. Season 5, episode 10 of The Flash. It's your boy Big Smooth, representing for them nerds in the hood, man. If you definitely feeling the recap, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about the episode, hit me up in the comments, you know what I'm saying? I'll be there. Yo, till next time, y'all. Peace.